The night had been long at Sunny's diner. Plates clattered, orders piled high, and the waitress, Mia, barely had time to breathe. Yet when she noticed an older man sitting alone in the corner, struggling with the menu and his tired hands shaking, she didn't hesitate. She poured him a coffee, sat for a moment despite the rush, and quietly helped him order the cheapest meal on the menu, sliding a muffin onto his plate with a smile. "On the house," she whispered. What Mia didn't know was that the man wasn't just another weary customer, he was Mr. Donovan, the new CEO of the diner chain, visiting Undercover to see how his employees treated people. But her kindness had consequences. The manager, sharp-eyed and strict, stormed over. "Mia, giving away food without charge? You're fired. Clear your apron and go." Gasps spread across the diner. Mia froze, heart pounding, but she didn't argue. She simply smiled at the old man, whispered, "Take care of yourself," and walked out the door into the cold night. The next morning, gossip swirled around town. Customers were outraged. Mia had been the heart of that diner for years. But by noon, the truth burst open like a storm. The man Mia had helped wasn't just anyone. He was the boss in disguise, and the kindness she showed him after losing everything was about to change her life in ways no one could have imagined. The next day, the diner buzzed with tension. Regular customers whispered angrily about Mia's firing. Some even promised never to return. To them, Mia wasn't just a waitress, she was family. She remembered names, birthdays, and always had a kind word for anyone who walked through the door. But behind closed doors, something else was unfolding. In a conference room just a few miles away, Mr. Donovan, now dressed in a sharp suit instead of his old jacket, sat at the head of a long table. His managers were present, including the one who had fired Mia. He cleared his throat. "Yesterday, I came to your diner undercover. I wanted to see how our staff treated customers. What I found shocked me. One of our best employees, Mia, was terminated for an act of kindness, something this company should stand for." The manager shifted uncomfortably in his chair, but Donovan wasn't finished. "That young woman showed compassion when no one else noticed. She didn't see me as a paycheck or a burden. She saw a person. And that's the kind of employee I want leading this company forward." Gasps filled the room. Donovan pulled out a folder. Inside was a letter addressed to Mia, an invitation not just to return, but to step into a new role, Community Outreach Coordinator, a position designed to reward her heart as much as her work ethic. Meanwhile, Mia sat in her small apartment, staring at unpaid bills, wondering how she would get by. She had no idea that within hours, a knock on her door would deliver news that would turn her despair into hope. The truth was about to be revealed, louder and brighter than she ever imagined. Mia was folding laundry in silence when a sudden knock echoed through her tiny apartment. She hesitated, visitors were rare. Opening the door, she found two suited men standing there, one holding a letter embossed with the diner's logo. Her heart sank. More trouble? She thought. But instead, the man smiled. "Miss Mia, the CEO would like to meet with you personally. He asked us to deliver this." Confused, she took the letter. The words blurred as she read. "Mia, yesterday I sat at your table, disguised as an ordinary customer. I saw your kindness, your patience, and your humanity. You didn't know who I was, yet you treated me like I mattered. That act changed me. Please meet me tomorrow at the central office. We need people like you, not just as a waitress, but as a leader." Tears welled up in her eyes. For hours she sat in disbelief. Could this be real? Or was it some cruel joke? The next morning, she walked nervously into the gleaming corporate building. In the lobby, Mr. Donovan stood waiting, not in shabby clothes this time, but in a crisp suit. He smiled warmly. "Mia," he said, "yesterday you lost your job for helping someone in need. Today, I want to give you a new one one that honors the very kindness that cost you so much." Mia's voice trembled. "But I was just doing what felt right." Donovan nodded. "And that's exactly why you're the kind of person this company needs at its heart." At that moment, Mia realized her firing wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something far greater than she could have imagined. The following week, Mia walked into the headquarters again, this time as the newly appointed Community Outreach Coordinator. The title felt surreal. Just days ago, she had been wiping down diner tables. Now, she was being asked to shape the company's values. Still, doubt gnawed at her. She wasn't trained for corporate life. She didn't wear tailored suits or speak in polished boardroom tones. When she entered her first meeting, a few executives whispered skeptically, their eyes questioning why a fired waitress now had a seat at the table. Mr. Donovan noticed. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said firmly, "Mia isn't here because of a resume. She's here because of her heart. And it's her perspective that we need most." The room quieted. Mia took a breath and spoke. "I don't know much about business terms. But I do know people. Customers remember when we smile, when we listen, when we treat them like family. That's what keeps them coming back, not just the food, but the feeling." Her words hung in the air. Slowly, heads began to nod. One by one, even the skeptical faces softened. Soon, Mia was tasked with her first project, designing a program where diners could donate meals to struggling families. She poured her heart into it, visiting shelters, listening to stories, and sketching ideas late into the night. What began as a small pilot quickly grew. Customers loved it. Communities rallied behind it. And for the first time in years, Mia felt like she wasn't just serving food, she was serving hope. But just as things were beginning to blossom, an unexpected challenge loomed ahead, one that would test not just her new position, but her belief in kindness itself. Mia's meal donation program was gaining traction, but with success came pushback. Some executives complained that giving away food cut into profits. At the next board meeting, charts and numbers were stacked against her idea. One voice said coldly, "Compassion doesn't pay the bills." For a moment, Mia felt the same fear she had when she was fired. Maybe they were right. Maybe she didn't belong here after all. Then she remembered the old man in the diner, the trembling hands, the grateful smile. That memory steadied her. She stood tall. "Profits may fill pockets," she said softly, "but kindness fills hearts. And when customers know we care, they'll never leave us. Compassion isn't a loss, it's the greatest investment we can make." The room fell silent. Mr. Donovan leaned forward. "She's right. Our company isn't just about food. It's about people. And people will always matter more than numbers." The executives slowly nodded. Within weeks, the donation program became a permanent initiative across all diners. Media outlets picked up the story, praising the chain for leading with humanity. Customers returned in greater numbers than ever before. One evening, as Mia visited a shelter delivering donated meals, a little girl tugged at her sleeve. "Thank you," she whispered, holding a muffin, the same kind Mia had once given freely. Tears filled Mia's eyes. In that moment, everything came full circle. Losing her job had been the doorway to finding her true purpose. And so, the waitress who was once fired for kindness became the woman who redefined an entire company with it, proving to the world that compassion, even when costly, always pays back in ways far greater than money.